HDSLR Shooter's coverage of NAB 2011 is brought to you by Kessler, Asden Microphones, Red Rock Micro, Digital Anarchy, and Adobe.
Hi, it's Clint with HDSLR Shooter, and I am here with Chuck Westfall of Canon.
Here at NAB, one of the new features I want to talk about for the EOS lineup is a new plugin for Final Cut Pro that is just about ready to be posted on the Canon website. It's due to be there April 25th. I'm going to say, we hope it'll be there by the end of the month. What that'll effectively do is extend compatibility on the Final Cut Pro plugin to all the current SLRs, including the Rebel T3i. But in addition, it has a workflow improvement. And so what that's about is, unlike the previous plugins, which required the files to be in the same structure as they were on the memory card, we now have the ability to draw the files from wherever they are on your system. So if you're doing a multi-camera production, or you just like to set up your folder structure the way that is best for your project, you place the files wherever they should be, and then you essentially point the plug-in to wherever they are and just get them into the system and drop them into the timeline. And of course, it still has the same ability as before of being able to get directly from the H.264 into the Apple ProRes, whatever flavor you like to work in. So that's a nice new feature that's going to be available by the end of the month. One other new thing about the EOS line is actually a new picture style. Now, this is not necessarily developed by Canon, but it's developed by Technicolor, which is, of course, a very, very high-end Hollywood production company. What they've done is several different ideas. So the first and most important idea is to actually get the most dynamic range out of the image sensor. And they do this not only by reducing the sharpening, contrast, and saturation, which a lot of people have tried before, but they also are able to manipulate the tone curve so that the shadows are a little bit more open without destroying the highlights. And this gives even more image information for the editor to work with. This is actually a free download that's going to be available through both Technicolor and Canon's website that can be uploaded to the camera automatically. But once you've got that to that stage and you've shot your footage, Technicolor takes it a step further. And if you get a hold of their software, then the feature that they're able to do is that they have access to profiles for all the other professional HD capture devices that are out there being in use in Hollywood now. So if it's a multi-camera shoot, and there's more than EOS that's involved, and you need to be able to match color, contrast, sharpness, saturation, tone curve, whatever, you can do that much more readily using this new picture style. So from the professional workflow standpoint, this is a very, very interesting development that we think is really going to bring the 5D Mark II closer to the professional community in terms of digital cinematography. We have also introduced some new firmware for our tapeless camcorders, the XF305 in particular, and what that will do is basically give people the ability to do a 3D setup when they use two XF305 camcorders together. And so that's a feature that we had in the XF105 that is now available in our higher end model. It's added value, no extra charge to the customer, should be on the market actually on our website to download sometime in June or July.
5D Mark III anytime soon, you think, maybe?
Well, we don't have any information right now to share about our schedule, but what I can tell you is that we're certainly very, very pleased at the reaction that we're getting to all the EOS cameras. We recognize that 5D Mark II has been a grand slam home run because of the full-frame sensor and the video capabilities. So what we're really doing right now is we're in the phase of making sure that whatever we do in our next generation is going to really address the biggest range of requests that we've received. Wow. And what we found is that whereas our original idea on the 5D Mark II was to aim it more towards the photojournalism market, yes, that has actually had even a bigger reception into digital cinematography. The customers who are interested in that field should definitely be thinking about two things. One, if they haven't told us already what they're looking for, by all means let us know.
Sound off.
And number two, that they should be aware that we are very responsive and we're going to do our best to make sure they're happy.
Excellent. So they should go to the Canon website to leave any feedback, things like this?
Yeah, in fact, we have on our website right now basically the ability for people to go into the page for the 5D Mark II, and if they go into the support area for that, they can actually write into our customer service support center and voice their opinion.
Wow. One more question. You guys did a firmware update to the 5D Mark II that allowed manual control over the audio. Will you guys have anything like that maybe for the 7D at any time, you think? Or?
Well, we don't have any schedule on that at the moment, but the one good thing is that we have, introduced that feature into other cameras as they've come out. So it's nice to see that on the 60D and the T3i. It remains to be seen for us right now what happens with the 7D and the 1D Mark IV.
Excellent. Chuck, thank you so much for your time. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
HDSLR Shooters coverage of NAB 2011 is brought to you by Lens Baby, Red Giant Software, Think Tank Photo, Blue Microphones, and Small HD.